With DC's Absolute Universe now at our doorstep and we have Absolute Batman #1 in our hands, we knew that this universe was going to be something similar to Marvel's Ultimates, where there's a whole retelling of familiar and iconic characters. And in this issue, we obviously see the differences between Batman and Alfred. Batman / Bruce Wayne no longer being the billionaire playboy, but now he's a blue-collar construction engineer. And Alfred no longer being a servant to Batman and Bruce Wayne, but in this universe, an elite spy and assassin. So who else has changed? Well, first and foremost, let's look at Bruce's parents. So they're not billionaires or the rich elite. Thomas Wayne is a 5th grade school teacher, and Martha Wayne works for the city. I believe her position is as a social worker, but I'm not totally clear on that. But overall, the Wayne family is now middle class. Now, as far as their relationship with Bruce goes, it seems healthy and loving, which makes the tragedy of Thomas Wayne's death that much more impactful. It all started when Bruce Wayne, in 5th grade, he won an engineering competition, which won his whole class a trip to Gotham Zoo. And his father, Thomas Wayne, was their teacher. And while they're all there having a good time, a mysterious gunman comes in and starts shooting up the place. And one of the victims turns out to be Thomas Wayne. Now, Martha Wayne wasn't there, so she's still alive in the series. And we do see her in current day at a town hall meeting with the rest of the city because there's this ravenous group of gang members called the Party Animals that are committing violent crimes all over Gotham. And the city has come together to try to figure out how are they going to get rid of these villains. And during this town hall, there's a lot of back and forth. It gets really heated, but then she speaks up and actually calms things down and starts to bring people together. And in that moment, that's when the Party Animals strike and tear up the place. But even though Bruce has decided to go on this path of becoming Batman, it doesn't seem like his mother knows about it, and it doesn't seem like it's hurt their relationship at all. Because after work one day, Bruce visits the Gotham City Zoo and places a flower on the spot where his father died, just before going to spend some time with his mom. And now next we have Jim Gordon, who has become the mayor of Gotham City, which makes Harvey Bullock the new commissioner of Gotham PD, and Barbara Gordon is actually a police officer in this series. Now their personalities seem to be about what we're used to, so there's not a whole lot of change there besides their official duties. Now where some of the biggest changes are in the villains, because Killer Croc, the Riddler, the Penguin, and Two-Face, they're not his enemies anymore. They're actually his childhood friends. And Bruce works out at the gym that Killer Croc actually owns. And of course he doesn't go by Killer Croc. He goes by his given name Waylon Jones, but he's obsessed with exotic animals. And in these panels we see him carrying snakes and crocodiles or alligators. And he goes on to tell Bruce that Ozzy helped him to get an exotic pets license. And Ozzy being Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. And it seems what they're trying to say is that Ozzy does get his fingers into some small-time crime, possibly forgery or bribery or something like that. So Waylon, aka Killer Croc, not only runs and operates this business in Gotham, but he also seems passionate about the way things are going in Gotham, how everything's starting to go downhill. And he actually shows up at this town hall meeting where he speaks his mind about the things that are going on. And while people are berating Jim Gordon, saying he's not doing a good job, he brings up the point that their previous mayor was a crook, and that we need someone like Jim Gordon in order to make this city become what everybody wants it to be. Now we've seen a change up with these characters, but it seems like there's some characters that they're keeping as villains, because we see Black Mask in this issue. He still seems to be a filthy rich, violent crime boss. Although he's wearing this spherical thing on his head, I'm not too sure what that's about, as well as the companions that he keeps. I'm not familiar with these characters. If you guys have some insight, go ahead and mention it in the comments below, because these two people kind of look like Twi'leks from Star Wars. But lastly, we cannot have a Batman series without his arch nemesis. So in the last pages of this comic, we're introduced to the Absolute Universe's Joker. Now, not much is really said about him, but the things that we do know, he's one of the 30 richest people in the world. So he's a billionaire. Not only that, he's trained under the assassin Henry Ducard, as well as trained with the League of Assassins. And apparently after his training was complete, he killed them all. So it seems like they've taken away the billionaire status away from Bruce Wayne, as well as his elite training in exotic places under masters of their trade. It seems like they're applying these to Joker's character, which I gotta be honest, if the writing and storytelling continues to be as good as it was in this issue, I am so excited to see what they're going to do with the Joker. I mean, we get a glimpse of his face, but I don't see any green hair. I don't see any face paint. Are they going to give him a visual change in his appearance? Are they going to give him a suit, a uniform, weapons? Because one of the crazy things about this new Joker is that unlike the original Joker, who has a permanent smile on his face, this Joker is either unable to or refuses to laugh. So I am really curious to see what part he plays in this whole dynamic. Are Batman and Alfred going to come together to face off with him? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Joker is a villain in this. I don't see anybody else becoming a major villain to take his place. But regardless how all this turns out, I'm excited for the up and coming issues of this series, along with Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash, and all the others that will follow. So if you like this type of content, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll always be aware when I drop a new video. And if you want to know more about Absolute Batman, go ahead and check out these two videos that are on the screen now. And remember to always support your local comic and game shops. I thank and appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.